Atelier Ryza 2 Physical Edition canceled for the PS5. Yep, the first that I know of. There may be more, but this is the first PlayStation 5 cancellation that I'm aware of. I have my theories as to why this is, but first I'll let you guys see the article. So, hot on the heels of announcing the PS5 version, Koei Tecmo announced that the physical edition is no longer happening. Huh. But the PS4 one is, though, so don't read too much into this. Like I'll try to explain what I believe is going on later. While Koei Tecmo planned to release a physical edition of Ryza 2 for the PS5, the publisher canceled it due to various reasons. However, the release of the digital edition for the PS5 will carry on as planned. This includes the previously detailed upgrade program. Those who purchase the PS4 version of Atelier Ryza 2, physical or digital, will get to upgrade to a digital PS5 version free of charge. That could be a contributing factor, but again, just wait. However, there's one caveat for those looking to upgrade from a PS4 copy to a digital PS5. Koei Tecmo reminds us in the notice that those looking to upgrade from a physical edition of the PS4 version will need a standard PS nickel to do so. It's obvious, but you'll definitely need a disk drive to do these kinds of upgrades, so that might also be worth considering for your future purchase. Ryza 2 will release on the PS Nickel, the PS4, and the Switch in Japan on December 3rd, so pretty soon. And in North America for PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC, January 26th, and Europe on January 29th. Now, what do I think is going on here? What do I think's going on? Well, first off, full disclosure, Gust used to be like the last remaining developer I still even remotely trusted. Until they pulled that bullshit with Fairy Tail recently, when they were promising for months that the game's not going to be censored, it's going to have all the fan service, and then they launch a day one censorship patch and censor the game worldwide across all platforms, all regions. Still haven't explained why. So, yeah, you cannot trust Koei Tecmo. You cannot trust Gust. They are on the shit list with everyone else right now, no matter what their excuses are. They lied about the censorship, and then they pulled a fast one. They pulled the bait and switch. So my opinion of these companies is pretty much in the shitter. I would not shed a tear if they went broke, to be honest with you, after the shit they pulled. So full disclosure, I had to make sure to point that out. And even though they're claiming that Ryza 2 will not be censored, they also said the same thing about Fairy Tail, and look what happened there. So again, can't trust them. And the fact that it's releasing on PlayStation, it's already censored. If they just skipped PlayStation completely instead of only canceling the physical PS5 version, they could have probably released it actually uncensored on the PC and Switch. So can't trust them at all. So just had to get my own bias out of the way here. But now my theory. Here is what I believe is the real reason why they canceled the PS5 physical edition. Pre-orders. It's as simple as that. They probably got hardly any pre-orders for the PS5 physical edition, so they canceled it. I mean, they have no reason to cancel the digital edition since that's already coming out regardless, especially after people upgrade. But in my opinion, and I've seen this happen before, even in other industries, they didn't get nearly enough pre-orders for the physical PS5 version to justify doing a physical print run. And you could read a lot into that if you really want to. Now, me personally, what I'd want to read into that is the people who have it, who still have a PS4. I mean, obviously, even though they're not going to be getting a PS5, even if they're done with Sony, they already paid for a PS4. I don't expect people like that to just throw it out. It's a waste of money. It's pretty damn stupid. You already bought it anyway. If nothing else, sell it to somebody. But these people are probably not going to part with their PS4s. It's probably their Blu-ray player already. And so they're like, you know what? May as well get the physical PS4 version for all the goodies that come with it. All right, okay. And in the meantime, there's almost nobody ordering the PS5 version. Now, what I like to read into that is that these people who have PS4s show no interest in getting a PS5. Because honestly, this game is going to come out after the PS5 launches. Either these people have no intention of getting a PS5 after all the Sony censorship, they know they can't trust them, or this is the part where I have to check myself, because as much as I would love for this to be what I just described, it could just be that they weren't able to land one in the pre-orders. That is entirely possible. Or alternatively, maybe they know they're going to be getting one in a few months, but they still want to play it now anyway. And if you're getting a free upgrade to the PS5 version, hey, may as well. Yeah, so then you can play it on the PS4, and when you get the PS5, you can upgrade and continue playing there. I wonder if all the blatantly exploitative DLC is going to also carry over to the PS5 version. Now, that would be an interesting question, because that's another reason why I'm kind of iffy on Gust recently, because they've been starting to do what all the AAA developers do. Even with the first Ryza, they had a fucking $60 season pass. Like, that's the price of the whole game. And that's like right at launch. Like, oh yeah, by the way, you could pay us double and you can pre-order some DLC. So they've been pretty bad. Pretty damn bad with the microtransactions, with the exploitative anti-consumer money milking schemes. And then Fairy Tail, not only did they release the game unfinished, but they also censored it with a day one patch and a $60 season pass. How much you want to bet the Ryza 2 one will be $60 or more? Huh. Very interesting. But in case you couldn't tell by my tone throughout this recording, I am not really hyped at all for this game. And it sucks to say that, because ever since the Artanelico games, because I actually played Artanelico before I played the Atelier games. I actually went back and played some of the earlier Atelier games after I played Artanelico, after I was looking for more games made by Gust. But the Artanelico games, the Surge Concerto games, those were my favorite that they produced. So I'm already kind of bitter at them for putting my favorite franchise of theirs on ice. But I was fine. No, that's their games are still good. Aisha is still my favorite one. But after that, it's been okay. And I had so much hope after Ryza when it looked like they were going full in on the fan service now. Still, again, it was a big warning sign was it was on PlayStation. So by the way, if you guys, even if the game is multi-platform, if it's the same version across all platforms, just assume all of them have been censored down to the PlayStation standard, which means never buy that shit full price. But I still had a little bit of hope that, maybe Gust will not be a piece of shit. And then Fairy Tail happened. Yeah, fucking Fairy Tail. Like I just ranted about. They released the game unfinished and broken. They censored it with a day one patch. Yeah, they couldn't actually fix the game with the day one patch. No. They have more important things to do, like censor panty shots. Right after promising for months that the game was going to be uncensored. Which is why I don't believe them at all when they're promising that Ryza 2 will be uncensored. It's like, sure it will. I believe you. And then they had a $60 season pass on top of that. Yeah, these companies cannot be trusted at all. But at least we're getting some good numbers out of this. At least we're getting, we know now that they didn't get enough pre-orders for the physical PS5 edition to justify even printing a physical PS5 edition. And I hope that this trend carries over going forward, because as I discussed earlier, there could be more logical reasons for this that aren't just that people are skipping the PS5. But we'll see going forward. Maybe a year or two later, if all of these games start canceling their PlayStation releases. Now, ideally, they will drop Sony completely and just release exclusively on PC and Switch. And that's when I can finally start trusting them that they're trying to turn things around. But until then, just sit back and watch the dumpster fire. After the censorship day one on Fairy Tail, Gust is in the pile with every other developer now. I will not even look at this game until at least 6 months after release. So the article said it'll be out on in January in the US. So I may look at it in July, and if they actually released it uncensored, if they weren't lying about it, if they didn't censor it after the fact, if they didn't refuse to bring over some of the DLC, because that's another type of censorship I warn people about, by the way. What they like to do these days is move some of the more spicy things into DLC, and then they can, in the West, they can release it, quote unquote, uncensored, but then they just conveniently don't bring over certain DLC. It's already happened with the One Piece World Seeker game. It happened with Berserk Band of the Hawk. We already have a history of them doing this. It kind of, sort of, for a little while happened with Code Vein, but eventually they brought over the bath towel costumes. So that, they did good on that one. They did good on that one. But you definitely want to wait and see. 6 months after release, if the game is actually uncensored, if they weren't lying about it this time, I will consider waiting until the game is on sale to pick it up. Because if it's still the same as the PlayStation version, I will assume it's been censored. So that's my plan right here. And final word on this. These guys may have screwed themselves even worse than they think, because when everyone is waiting a few months to buy your game because they can't trust you, how many of those people are still going to care about your game a few months later when something else came out and distracted them? Because at this point, I'm not even sure I'll still be interested in July to even look at this game anymore. I don't think I'll even care. Even if it actually is uncensored, I don't even know if I'll bother. At this point, I think I'm just going to put it on my wish list on Steam, and I'll wait until it's less than $10. I'm like, all right, now I can buy it. Yeah, when it pops up on a summer or winter sale, and I'll see it again, and it's like $10. Oh, okay, now I can pick it up. All because you were a bunch of lying sacks of shit about censorship. Oh, well, not my problem. I'm not as mad as I would have previously been about things like this, because now this is just another opportunity for me to make my own. So that's what's going on here. Figured you guys may want to be aware. Yeah, Koei Tecmo's been swearing up and down that, the game's not going to be censored, guys. And same thing they said about Fairy Tail. Can't trust them.
Oh man, I am so excited to tell you guys right now that finally, after about a year of build-up and shilling, we have launched Blade Devil on Indiegogo, and so far it is doing so well thanks to awesome people like you. If you haven't backed it yet, then please check the links in the description and check out Blade Devil on Indiegogo. You will not be disappointed. Looking forward to seeing you there.